Oral questions, question orale. The Honourable Member for Stina.
I remember someone saying once that when you're under this kind of cloud the Prime Minister admits his government is under, I would think that you'd use every opportunity to be as forthright as possible. Who said that? Oh, that was this Prime Minister. But that was back when Conservatives thought that telling the truth actually mattered to Canadians. So today, another day of questions. Will it be another day of changing stories? Mr. Speaker, is the Prime Minister aware of any other checks from Nigel Wright to Mike Duffy? Simple question. How about a simple answer?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, let me just begin by saying Happy Halloween and just saying that, of course, tonight is the night when kids will be all over the place, and hopefully everybody will help out. And if you have somewhere to go, drive a little bit slower, take a little bit of extra time, so that we don't have anything that we have to think tomorrow that makes this day a bad day. So hopefully everybody will consider that. With respect to the question, Mr. Speaker, we've been very clear. Of course, our party is no different than any other party when it comes to helping out our members who require legal assistance. We do that. Unlike the NDP, of course, who not only provide legal assistance, they actually pay the judgment against those members. So we don't have that double standard on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Stina Bulkley Valley.
I remember a Prime Minister once saying, oh, wait, that was just last week, that if you're throwing mud, you're losing ground. But I got a better expression for these Conservatives, that when you're in a hole, stop digging. These guys went out and bought a bigger shovel. So let's start again. The Prime Minister said that a few people in his office were aware of the check from Nigel Wright to Mike Duffy. Please just tell us, how many people in the Prime Minister's office were aware of the second check, the one to pay Mike Duffy's legal expenses?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Well, again, Mr. Speaker, I'll refer the Honourable Member to affidavits recently filed in court. But while I have the floor, I'll just also mention the fact that, again, today we see the Canadian economy grew by over 2% annually. It's an early good news, of course, for the Canadian economy, Mr. Speaker. And when you talk about shoveling, Mr. Speaker, and when you talk about digging, of course, they keep digging into this because they know that they don't want to talk about the things that Canadians are concerned about: jobs, growth, safe communities, Mr. Speaker. Because if they talk about that, they know that they're on the wrong side of Canadians. It's this party that's on the right side of the Canadians, Mr. Speaker. It's this party that will continue to work to grow the economy, create jobs, even if they'll get in the way all the time, Mr. Speaker. Canadians can count on us to focus on the economy.
The Honourable Member for Stina Bulkley Valley.
Only this party and this member would think that a Prime Minister not coming clean with Canadians somehow wasn't important to Canadians. We believe this to be important to the nation state. The issue is Conservative involvement in a cover-up to pay off Mike Duffy and buy his silence. This is just like when the Liberals were mired in the sponsorship scandal. Paul Martin's strategy was to not answer direct questions from the opposition. Well, how did that work out for Paul Martin and the Liberals down the way? Let's try again. Nigel Wright has been interviewed by the RCMP. Can the government tell us when was the last time the Prime Minister had a conversation with Nigel Wright?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, this coming from a party that actually wanted to have a coalition government with the Liberals, Mr. Speaker? They actually wanted 6 seats in a Liberal cabinet, Mr. Speaker. And now all of a sudden, the Liberals are the worst party ever. But they were ready at one point to set aside what Canadians wanted when they voted us into office and form a coalition government with the Liberals, Mr. Speaker. Wow, all over the place. It's trick or treat all day today, Mr. Speaker. Trick and treat, both of them together, Mr. Speaker.